Yes, sir, Scott. The first game of the year is always super exciting, and there are some changes. None bigger than Alec Coleman is no longer on the team at quarterback, and he'll be replaced by sophomore Adam Bowler, and Elijah Woods is taking over a tailback for the Ponders. Both of them performed mightily last week. However, the Ponders dropped a tough loss, 22-7 to Cambridge Ridge Latin. They moved the ball well, didn't convert in the red zone, and we'll see if they can rectify that tonight at home.
It was a tough loss for your Spy Ponders. Rob, for Stoneham, it's really a one-man band, and they're coming off an impressive win last week against Belmont.
Trey Pignon is the one-man band for the Stoneham Spartans. And Trey Pignon, interestingly, is a one-man band who plays quarterback, he plays running back, he plays wide receiver. We haven't seen that kind of versatility here in Pierce Field for a while. But a one-man band can also be a vulnerability. And if we stop Trey Pignon, we stop the Spartans.
That's what, Coach, as you see the Spy Ponders barreling onto the field in brand new sparkling uniforms this year for the 2016 opener. And Rob, we've seen in the past that a lot of times in football, youth struggles.
Well, youth struggles is the second game of the year. The first game in under the Friday night lights is a time to get out the jitters. The second game is time to see what you got. The Spy Ponders have a young team. They graduated a lot of seniors last year. They're coming off 4 very successful seasons. So there are some questions that will be answered tonight. What will be the identity of the team? Will it be offense? Will it be defense? Will they be a power team? Will they be an explosive team? What will the system be? Will the lines at both sides of the ball have the size and the strength to control the line of scrimmage, to run and to stop the run? And what skill position players will be counted on to carry the load as the season wears on and get in the end zone?
Well, someone that Coach Gender really likes is another sophomore, super sophomore, Joe Pazia. Pazzi is a defensive end fullback. He said he's going to get a lot of carries. He's going to be in on a lot of plays, and Gendron's looking for him to really kind of be what they're going to have is a lot of youth leadership on this team.
Yeah, a couple of sophomores who are carrying the load. That introduces a certain uncertainty to the game. It also introduces some competition on the team. You see the sophomores competing with the juniors, competing with the seniors. That's always fun, and it creates a lot of excitement for us and for the fans at home who are watching the game.
Well, one of the things that Coach Gendron really made a point to tell us last night, Rob, was that the starting job for quarterback at Adam Bowler was really won out. It wasn't a move for the future. It wasn't a move for, well, let's get this kid a couple of looks, let's get him some experience. He won the job fair and square, and that's how it's really playing out with this ball club for the fall. Yeah,
Coach Gendron runs a meritocracy, and he believes you have to earn your position, and that the player who can help him win ball games is going to play. And, kind of ultimately, those kind of values are real strong and helpful for a football team.
They sure are, and it looks like the Spy Ponders have won the toss and have elected to defer to the second half. While we all look up the word meritocracy, we're going to take a moment here to pause for our national anthem. Let's get ready to play some football. It's time for the 2016 season opener. And while we were listening to the anthem, we had the chance to look up meritocracy, and I have the official
definition.
Yeah, getting good definition.
I'm going to help you with a lot of words here.
Tonight. Definition: government of the holding power by people selected on the basis of their ability.
Very well done, Grasshopper.
Very well done.
Are we going to start this already? The very first game? Must we bicker?
Must we? Well, wait till we get a timeout, then we'll really get going.
So this is a little bit of a revenge game. The Spy Potters went to Stoneham last year in the second game of the year and lost the game 23-22. Couldn't get an extra point to go early in the game. So the Spy Potters looking forward to return the favor. Last year Stoneham was 6-6 and won a couple or maybe even 3 playoff games. Ponders also 6-6, so this figures to be a good one.
Should figure to be a good one. If you remember that game last year, Rob, that was the game where they missed the field goal, the 32-yard field goal that was wide right by Clarkey, and it was a big loss for the Spy Ponders. They bounced back from it, but it was a huge game early on. So we got a little bit of revenge here going on. Back deep for the Ponders. Wow, this is going to be tough for numbers this year. Wow. I'm going to assume that's Elijah Woods. Wrapped up by a host of Spartans led by number 7, Tim Russell. And the Spy Ponders will take over 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. And Rob, what do you think early from the Spy Ponders here?
Well, we're going to see what Coach Gendron wants to do. They're going to see what they can establish here, trying to find something that works. And we're going to learn a lot in this first series about what kind of football team they want to be.
Here's Elijah Woods off the left-hand side. Wrapped up by a wall of white. That's a loss of about 3. And not a good start for the Spy Ponders.
That's not what they wanted to see. It looks like the Stoneham Spartans are fielding a lot of size up front. 77, 76, 55, 13, all very big boys.
Woods the deep back, and Pazia the up back on a 2nd and 12 for the Spy Ponders. Here's Pazia over the right-hand side, able to fall over for about a yard or 2, going to bring up 3rd and long, and those are the down distances that teams on Friday night struggle with.
I think we're going to see whether Coach Gendron wants to unleash the sophomore on the 3rd play of the ball game, or whether he wants to try to ease him into the season, and let him kind of feel the home lights before taking any big risks downfield.
The Twins to the top of your screen. Single back set. Elijah Woods back there for Bowler. Here's Bowler. He's got some time. Pass overthrown, going to bring up 4th down, and the Spy Ponders are going to have to punt.
The good news on that play, Scott, is he did get a lot of time. He had 4 or 5 counts in the pocket, which is good news. Pass protection, holding for the Ponders, and although Bowler ended up throwing the ball out of bounds, which was probably a smart play, he did show a lot of poise in the pocket.
Pass was intended for James Bradley Jr., and that'll bring up 4th down, the first Spy Ponder punt. Clock stopped with 9:23 left in a scoreless first quarter. 2-0 Spartans facing off against your 0-1 Arlington Spy Ponders on opening night 2016. Zigzag, he's able to zoom out of bounds and about the 43-yard line goes, Mama goes their man, Trey Pignon. And Pignon already putting a little bit of his imprint on this ball game.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of chance to see Mr. Pignon, and a good start for Stoneham, starting the ball in Ponder territory.
A lot of times early in the season, field position is key. And right now, the Spartans are winning the battle. So Pignon's the quarterback right now. First and 10. It's not Pignon. Gives it to the up back. The quarterback was Russell. Handed off to, this is going to be tough getting these handed off to Pignon. There's Pignon.
I think that was Jacob Marini that carried the ball that time. Number 7, no? We'll get there.
7 is Tim Russell.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. So, talk about first game jitters, indeed.
What are we even doing here?
If this was a meritocracy, I wouldn't be in the booth.
We'd be out on our keisters. Here's 2nd and 1. Here's an option play. Around the end, that is Diego Dialmedia.
2 nice plays for the Spartan there, and I tell you that the on first down, Pignon really did a nice job keeping the ball in the belly of the back for a long time before handing him the ball, and that really set up a very fine fake by Pignon. The defense fell for it, and Cellini got to the edge.
So here's Pignon on a 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Pignon's going to keep it over the left-hand side. Gets 3 or 4 yards. Brought down by John Nascimento Jr. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 6. And what looked like a little bit of nothing was about 4 yards for Pignon.
Smart play calling by the Spartans. The Ponders are keying on Pignon, and so the first 2 games they went away from Pignon, first 2 plays, and then just ran him right up the gut on the keeper.
So the deep back is Dialmedia, and he'll get the ball, go to the left-hand side. Zigzags, can't zoom. Brought down by a pair of Spy Ponders, led by number 9, John Nascimento. Strong early for the Spy Ponders, but it brings up a 3rd and manageable for the Spartans.
Coach Gendron views tackling as one of the keys to the game tonight, another being to convert if they are in the red zone. So far, they've been tackling, but not before gains by the Spartans.
So 3rd and 3 for the Spartans. Looks like a little bit of false start there, if I had to guess. Stripes all over it as usual. And there it is, a false start. Ooh, Stripes really moving those arms on that false start.
Bad intent by Stripes. I think he was trying to simulate the starting of a motorboat.
Sure was. Revving and going. Brings up 3rd and 7. What do we always say about penalties, Rob?
Drive killers.
Drive killers. Let's see if it comes to be true here. Here's Pignon. 3rd and 7. Over the right-hand side falls Dialmedia, and Rob, you got to think this is 4-down territory for the Spartans.
And I think the Spartans think that too, is why they were running the ball into the B gap on 3rd and 7. They're obviously thinking that if they don't get it, they will simply go again. We have yet to see what kind of arm Mr. Pignon has.
And Robert, we got a second here. Can you explain to the audience the difference between the A gap and the B gap?
The A gap is between the center and the guard. The B gap is between the guard and the tackle. The edge is outside of the tackle or the tight end, as the case may be.
Right, we learned a new word for the edge. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. 4th down here, first big play of the ball game. It's a jump pass. A jump pass, and it's complete. Pignon throws complete to his tight end. That's Sam Labassiere. And it's going to be 1st and goal. Nice. There's something you don't see every day, a jump pass.
A jump pass, and I think that's a smart play call. I think of it as a tight end pop. The linebackers pull up expecting another run, and the tight end just sneaks behind them and in front of the safety.
DL Media deep back on a 1st and goal. Gives it to the up back. It's Russell. Russell wrapped up at the 3 and about the 2 by a host of Arlington defenders. And right now, Rob, it's just a battle of the bulge up front.
Here on the 5-yard line, field is short. The Ponders are going to bunch up, and we'll see if the Spartans have any tricks up their sleeves. 2nd and goal from the 4 would be a time to use them.
2nd and goal. And it's DL Meany over the right-hand side, and he punches it in the end zone for a touchdown for Stoneham.
Power sweep that time by Stoneham, and Diamede really walked into the end zone.
That was what we call the edge. You got the edge there on the outside. He's able to get the outside, really no contain there by the Spy Ponders, and DL Media walked right into the end zone. The extra point is going to be attempted by DL Media. DL Media's kick is up. And the kick is good. And with 4:48 left in the first quarter, the Stoneham Spartans lead 7-0. And Rob, not the start you wanted for the 2016 Spy Ponders.
Not when you're at home, and we'll see if that takes the wind out of the Spy Ponders a little bit. They came out, kind of clearly very, very excited, and the Spartans controlled the line of scrimmage, and really multiple shots to the right to the center of the Spartans line paid off.
So Nascimento and Woods will receive for the Spy Ponders, who look to get something going. The Spartans really, we came in saying it was a one-man gang, but marching down the field, really was a 2-man gang of Pignon and Labassiere. And DL Media. And Spy Ponders need to get a little 1-2 punch of their own going here.
They worked the right side of the offense, left side of the Ponders defense that time.
Let's go, boys! Hit somebody! Let's go, Gustavo!
Got a lineman who's kicking the ball for them.
Yeah, it's Joe Dentona. Elijah Woods received Dentona's kick. He's looking to go right. He's got a block and a cut. He's at the 40. It cuts back now. Into the 50 goes Elijah Woods. He zigzags and definitely zooms. And a little bit of life for your Spy Ponders.
And the Ponders get the ball at midfield. Just what they needed is a big play in response. And they got it that time from Elijah Woods. Didn't see who the blocks were from, but they got a good block right at the point where Elijah Woods caught the ball to give him the hole, and he knew just what to do with it.
Knew just what to do with it. A great couple of cuts, as I said, a zig-a-zag and a zoom there. First attempt for the Spy Ponders. Woods stays in the game in the deep back. And here's Bowler going deep. Into double coverage, it is incomplete. Intended for Colin Curran, a junior.
Wow, Bowler trying to loosen up the Spartan defense that time, went deep, threw it into, there were 3 defenders back there, 2 covering the wide receivers and the safety. May have gotten away with one.
Sometimes there, though, Rob, I think you might be maybe looking for a flag, a little something just to move those sticks. But it brings up a tough 2nd and 10 for the Spy Ponders. Clock stopped at 4:32, 7-0 Spartans. First quarter. Here's Bowler. Looking to get the edge, he can't. It's back to the line of scrimmage. Is able to knock over the bench. Not what you're looking for on a sweep.
Yeah. You know, I think the punters have yet to gain plus yardage in this game.
No, I don't think they have. They did get that bench down, though. 3rd and 11 for the Spy Ponders.
Interesting, super sophomore wide receiver cornerback Jaden Doughton is on the sideline tonight in Civies.
Yes, he's hurt and won't be playing this week, and hopefully they'll be getting him back soon. Great communication. Here's Bowler. 5-step drop. He's got to be wide open, and it is caught into the end zone. Goes Michael Doherty. He was wide open, uncovered, and a bing, and a bang, and a boom.
Wow! Unbelievable. Bowler must not have believed his luck. Doherty was completely uncovered, tossed the ball about 25, 30 yards downfield. Doherty caught the ball. He almost stumbled out of bounds. He probably couldn't believe there wasn't a defensive player on him, and then just waltzed into the end zone.
I was sure for a second there a carpet bug was going to get up and just nip him in the heels, but it didn't. He held on. Sometimes the easiest catches are the ones where you're wide open, and he was wide open. There wasn't a defender within 30 yards of him.
Absolutely. You know, you don't practice that.
You sure don't.
Uh-oh.
Here's a fake. Cunningham thrown to the end zone, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, that was actually a high snap, Scott, and just didn't work out that time. There was nobody to throw the ball to, and we'll take our blessings where we find them, and we'll be happy with 6 points.
Sure will, and with 4:18 left in the first quarter, Arlington strikes right back, and it's 7-6 Spartans. And Rob, I got to be honest with you, I really, that the way those first 2 series went, I was kind of thinking, ooh, this might be a little bit of a lopsided affair, and then all of a sudden, there's
Bowler to Doherty, wide open.
Doherty running wide open down the right side of the field, and you're saying, well, this is a brand new ball game now, but he's got to catch that ball, and he did.
Yeah, he caught the ball, and he might have been surprised. You know, I didn't see what happened. I didn't see any defender slip. There was just nobody on him.
There was nobody on him. He's running down the field. I thought that it was a play after the whistle. I thought the whistle had blown because all the white jerseys were literally, I'm not even making this up, they're 40 yards away from him. There wasn't anyone near him.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a play like that here since I've been doing games in 10 years. He's wide open.
That's right, and the good news also is that the pass protection for the Ponders was very strong that time. Bowler had a lot of time to find him, and he delivered a strike.
Kick to the up back. It's Devon Chase, and Chase bowls his way over to the 40 to about the 45, and that's where the Spartans will take over 1st and 10. And again, you see field position coming into play.
Good foot starting on the 45, 44-yard line is what the Spartans want to do. That looked like a design play also. It looked like he was trying to kick it into some kind of a zone, but it really didn't work out. And the Spartans have the ball at a point in the field where they can run, they can pass. The playbook is wide open.
Wide open. We've seen Pignon run the ball. We've seen him throw the ball. We've seen him option the ball. It's been the whole package so far. And here he is barking out signals on a 1st and 10. Here's DL Media over the right-hand side where he's had success. This time he doesn't have success. He's wrapped up. Gang tackled, led by number 75 senior Michael Thielbar.
Michael Thielbar has really held down the center of the line. The Spartans have used that play to set up, plays to the outside, but they haven't had success with that play.
So that brings up a 2nd and 7 for the Spartans. They give it to the up back. That's Russell. Russell pounds his way over the 50 to about the 49. And again, middle of the line doing the job for the Spy Ponders.
Very quick hitting play. And we're seeing Pignon under center. We don't see a lot of quarterbacks under center at the high school football level anymore.
No, we really don't. That's a really acute observation, Professor. You know, we really don't. This is the day and age now where it's shotgun, 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 sugar huddle, no huddle, moving the ball, handing the ball off the shotgun. Pignon's right under center just about all the time. I don't think I've seen him take a shotgun snap yet. A little old school. A little old school. And there he goes over the right-hand side. And I'll tell you, this DL Media, he's sneaky fast. He doesn't look fast. He runs kind of upright, but he's quick.
He's a tall kid, and he's got some wheels. You know, our program has a big Spartan helmet right over the size of the players. So nobody else knows. I'm going to say he's 6'1", 185. How about that? But once again, the Spartans pound the ball into the line a couple times, suck in the outside linebackers for the Ponders, and then break one just off the edge for good yardage.
What they say for running backs is when you hit a hole, hit the hole and head to the outside. That's just what DL Media has done on a couple of occasions tonight. First and 10 for the Spartans. Here's a little play action pass. He's going deep, he's got a man, and it is caught. A pitch and a catch to run from Pignon to Russell. They split Russell out wide. A little play action pass, and the Spy Ponders bit.
They bit hard. Russell was 2 steps behind his defender, 2 steps ahead of his defender, and Pignon laid the ball right on the money, right to the outside shoulder. And again, you know, I think that the running game of Stoneham set that one up.
Pignon's extra point is a sky kick, and it's up and it's good. And with 2:07 left in the first quarter, the Stoneham Spartans take a 14-6 lead, and they answer right back after the Spy Ponder touchdown.
This is turning into a high-scoring game. The Stoneham Spartans have scored 42 points in their first 2 ball games, so 21 points in each. They've got 14 points 10 minutes into the first quarter here. And
so if we do the math, what would that be for the game? What would the final score be for the game with 2:07 left?
58-26.
58-26, so
it's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. Less than that.
You're going to bet the under?
I'm going to go with the under here. But I will say that I'm very impressed with the Spartans' offense. It's multifaceted. I mean, they can do it all. They run the ball, they throw it, they option it, they run under center. It's impressive.
And they're executing well for the second ball game of the season. That's the mark of a well-coached team. Third ball game of the season for the Spartans. Second for the Ponders.
So if that goes out of bounds, which he could have let it do, it'll be taken by Adam Iluisi. Iluisi goes nowhere. He's tackled at about the 24-yard line. That's where the Spy Ponders will take over first and 10. And now the field position battle is again, it's kind of everything's kind of fallen the Spartan way so far.
We've seen Air Gendron the first 2 possessions. Back on the, what do we have, the 25-yard line. We'll see if Gendron shows that kind of confidence.
And we love it for if teams go to the air early on in the season with this temperature at a nice balmy 68 degrees. If you see teams throw in the air in November, I'm not going to be a happy camper. Here's first and 10 for the Spy Ponders. Woods the deep back, Bowler the quarterback. Here's Woods over the left-hand side. He just can't get anything going. that mesh point isn't quite what you'd expect with experience, don't you think, Rob?
Yeah, I think that's right. And Woods is the kind of back they need to try and find a way to get him the ball outside, get him in space. If he gets the ball swallowed up among the trees, he's not going to have much of a chance in there.
So clock rolls, coming up on 1:20 left in the first quarter. Spartans lead 14-6, second and 11 for Bowler. Steps into his throw, had a man wide open.
Wow, right. Bowler fired the ball, showed an arm there.
Showed an arm. It was intended for Adam Wow, this is a tough name. I'm sorry to this young man. Ilunisi. Rob, how do you pronounce that name?
We're going to have to Ilunsi.
That's it, Adam Ilyunsi. So there's a timeout called by the Spartans, and that will take us to 1:12 left in the first quarter with the Spartans leading 14-6. And should I get my rant out of the way now, Rob?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Folks, every year, and it doesn't change, and it stays the same, and I say give you the same rant every year. Each team gets, wait for it, 5 timeouts per team per half.
5 timeouts. So how many is that in total?
That is 20 per game.
Oh my gosh, that is stunning.
It is stunning. I've always found it stunning. I've never quite understood it. 5 timeouts per team per half. The only saving grace is that you can't carry timeouts into the second half. The problem with that is
it encourages you to use them all.
It encourages you to use all 10 of your timeouts in the first half. So you see what you got here. Any type of confusion, any type of moment where a team wants to stop the clock, they're just going to do it. And that's what you had there. So 3rd and 11 for the Spy Ponders. Bowler going deep again. It's a back shoulder throw intended for...
Oh, that's going to be pass interference.
Pass interference. And I'm not sure if that was a design back shoulder throw, but it got the job done.
It was a beautiful back shoulder throw. Receiver turned around, and the defensive back tried to fight his way through the body of the receiver, and you just can't do that. The referee behind the play did not call it, but the referee in front of the play did. Here you go with an excellent shot from the field, and we see, a hold there. So the cornerback was holding the receiver. Good call, I think, by the Stripes, and the Ponders are now in business.
Yeah, Ilyusi came back, turned back for the ball, fought for it hard, and that was really the key in getting that play called there. And so that'll be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down for the Spy Ponders. And Rob, we were talking about this the other night. It's not a spot foul, this pass interference at the high school level. And what do you think about that?
It's 10 yards. I don't like it. I think the team, I think the defense is encouraged downfield to interfere with the ball if it's only 10 yards on a 35-yard pass play. I'd like to see him get to 35.
Here's Woods going left. And now he finally has a little bit of room to zig. He can't zag and zoom, but he gets 3 or 4. Brought down by a gang of Spartans. And it's going to bring up second, and they're not moving those sticks at all. Didn't he get a few yards there?
We've got a
flag in the play.
We've got a flag on the play.
And I don't know what that call was. It looked like he called delay of game. But
I think it might have been illegal use of hands.
Let's see this call.
Oh, it's a hold.
Just a regular hold. So that's 10-yard spot foul. It'll bring up a 1st and 20. And Rob, what do we say about penalties?
Well, devastating drive killer.
And devastating drive killers.
At the way the Ponders are having a little bit of trouble moving the ball, 10 yards in reverse is not what the doctor ordered.
Not at all. Not at all. So it's a 1st and 20 for the Spy Ponders. Here's Bowler. Steps into a throw, had a man. Incomplete. He's got a good arm, this Bowler.
He's got a good arm and a good arm going to his left, which is the mark of a really good arm. Sets his feet well, steps into the throw, as you were saying, has nice form. Put the ball a little bit high. The good news is there was only one person who could catch that, if at all, and it was the intended receiver.
Just what you want to see, and just what Coach Gendron wants to see. Obviously, he likes what he's seen out of Bowler in the preseason and last week. He's letting him sling it all over the place tonight. 31 seconds left in the first quarter. Spartans up 14-6. Is Bowler going to keep it? Looking to get the edge. He's not going to get the edge. He's going to get wrapped up. A nice tackle there by Tim Russell. And this Russell's all over the football field.
He is all over the football field, and frustrating every opponent attempted deception. That time, they set up to pass and ran the ball, but the Stoneham Spartans were not fooled.
No, they were not fooled. That's going to bring up
third and very long.
Third in California. And that's the end of the first quarter. And our score, the Stoneham Spartans 14 and the Arlington Spy Ponders 6. You are watching ACMI Friday Night Football. I'm your host, Scott Zwick, and I'm alongside my partner, the Professor, Rob Anthony. And Rob, why don't you tell us how we got to 14-6?
Well, the Spartans opened the scoring with 4:48 to go in the first quarter. A 4-yard run by Diamidi. The Ponders responded with a 52-yard pass play from Bowler to Doherty. Doherty was wide open, caught the ball at the 25-yard line and waltzed into the end zone. Extra point was not converted, made it 76. Then the Spartans responded with a 36-yard pass play of their own. Pignoni to Russell to bring us to 14-6 where we stand right now.
And that's where we stand. And for those watching, go onto your computer and go to acmi.tv for the replay schedule of this game and all other games throughout the season. You are watching ACMI sports coverage of the 2016 Spy Ponda opener. And Rob, if there's anything to be said of the first quarter there, I just think the versatility of the Spartans is showing through.
Versatility and quite honestly, they have a lot of athletes on the field. They have a lot of athletes at just about every position. And this is going to be a tough test for the home team.
Sure is.
Nice night, though, tonight. You said 68 degrees. Good crowd came out tonight to cheer on the Ponders.
Great crowd, great atmosphere for the home opener. What other place would you rather be than right here and right now? Here's 3rd and 20. Here's Bowler. A little back shoulder throw. That one was intended for Doherty, who he connected for a touchdown with, and a little crossing pattern there.
Little crossing pattern there. Both receivers were covered. Again, ball was thrown by Bowler out of harm's way, and now they'll be punting the ball, and the Spartans may well get some field position again.
Pignon and DL Media back to receive for the Spartans. For the Spy Ponders, it'll be Nicholas Samuelson Hawley to do the kicking. It's off a good punt. And a nice coverage by the Spy Ponders, led by number 77, Ryan Mathers. And Mathers with a nice tackle there.
Good tackle. Tackling's been a focus all week for the Ponders, and that time they executed. 3 guys around the ball, all held their position, kind of collapsed onto the ball carrier. A good special teams effort tonight for the Ponders. That's been a plus.
Sure has been a plus. What hasn't been a plus has been field position. And here we go again, the Spartans with good field position, lots of options on their plates, and we'll see what they come up with here on a 1st and 10 up 14-6 in the second quarter. Here's Pignon. Deal Media, the deep back. Pignon's just going to keep it right up the middle. And Rob, for years and years, who did we see do that? Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Anytime he saw a big gap in between the big gap in the A gap, both A gaps wide open, he just would take it for 4 or 5 yards. You got there, 4 yards.
You're right. That could well be an audible, and the audible at the high school level is kind of pinch the rear end of the center and go on sound and go.
And go. It's just what Brady used to do, and he doesn't do as much anymore. He's getting older, but it was definitely a blind call even when Brady did it. So it brings up 2nd and 7. So there's a false start there, and there, Rob, you see a little bit of the downside of making calls to the line of scrimmage. There, you saw Pignon get to the line of scrimmage. He's making a call. He's kind of changing the play. And what happens? Somebody jumps off sides.
The offense got a little bit confused. He outthought himself a little bit. And that time, the Ponders snuck a linebacker up into the A gap and threatened to, to blitz. And I think that confused Pignon a little bit.
Well,
little cat and mouse.
I don't know if it confused Pignon, but it certainly confused the left tackle who jumped a little early. So this is 2nd and 12 now for the Spartans. Here's a little bootleg action. Pignon looking to throw, and it is well defended by the Spy Ponders.
Wow, I tell you, that was very close to a catch and a fumble. Another half a count, and they might have allowed that ball to be live, and Ponders would have had a shot.
Yeah, Devin Chase had his hands on the ball for a bit. You have to have your hands on the ball, your feet on the ground, then you have to make a move after that for it to be a live football. He had his hands on the ball, feet on the ground, but he wasn't able to make that move. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and a mile, and it is a full moon here tonight at Pierce Field.
I'm gonna look that definition up on the internet. Awoo.
Awoo. 3rd and 11. There's a little screen pass. That could be a live football. They wisely fall on it. I think it was a forward pass, but I wasn't so sure. And wisely, number 54, who's literally blocked out my playbook here.
Yeah.
Wisely jumped on the football.
Yeah, that was an incomplete forward pass. The Stripes got it wrong, and that just goes to show you heads up play by the receiver. Don't take anything for granted. Don't make the Stripes make a good call. Jump on the ball.
So Elijah Woods back to return for the Spy Ponders, and Diego Media will do the kicking for the Spartans in a nice defensive stand for the home team. This is returnable. Looking for the edge. He's got the edge. The 20. Around to about the 30. And I'll tell you, Elijah Woods has a second gear in him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And this is the return game is tailor-made from him. A lot of options, a lot of space. Fast kid, nice moves. That time got around the edge and motored a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke one this season.
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I'll tell you something about Elijah Woods. He looks like he's been in the weight room in the offseason.
Yeah, he's gained some strength.
Definitely. Good 10, 15 pounds of muscle, a little bit taller. Looks every bit the junior running back that he is. So you got a super sophomore, a quarterback, a junior running back for the Spy Pandas. 8:20 left in the first half. Here's Bowler. He's got the edge. Zigzags. And what is that call? Are they going to call a block in the back there?
You're kidding me.
You've got to be kidding me. I mean, no offense to
yeah, offense. Go ahead.
well, no offense to Elanisi, but he was barely blocking.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean,
no, he's barely
you know,
blocking. He was kind of standing there.
He's not really even blocking the guy.
He was standing there. I think they might have called him for a hold.
They did call him for a hold, and I don't know.
I'm a little bit befuddled. I don't know if we can see that again, but maybe he was. I mean, because we're sitting here right over the play.
He's standing there.
And it's too bad.
To be quite blunt, he wasn't doing what he's supposed to be doing, which is blocking. He was standing there.
Yeah, maybe the Stripes were offended by that. And it's too bad because Bowler made a really nice fake that time, and got around the edge.
He sure did. So it's a spot foul. So it's 1st and 9. So here's Stripes moseying on in. Always with the mosey. Stripes never missing a meal. That's Stripes. And here's Bowler trying the outside again. This time he can't get it. And Rob, we're seeing the Spy Ponders, they keep trying to get that edge. They've gotten it once, maybe twice, but they're really struggling to get the edge.
Yeah, they're struggling to get anything going here. The one big play to Doherty downfield is the bright spot. They've tried to recreate that a couple of times and haven't had success. We'll see what whether they can pull a rabbit out of a hat here on 2nd and long.
And it's 2nd and 15, and we talk all the time. These are the down and distances, 2nd 15, 3rd and 15, that you see converted on Saturdays and Sundays, but not so much on Friday nights. High school kids, it's just real tough for them to do. So here's Woods. He's wrapped up by number 79, who slams from the ground. I'll take. Professor, that's very close to a personal foul there, don't you think?
That if the play before, the foul before was a hold, then that was a personal foul.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
If that's where we're going to play this, we're calling a little ticky-tack stuff. You can't grab a guy and slam him to the ground.
Yeah.
This is 2016.
Yeah.
You could in 2002.
Yeah.
But you can't in 2016. That's what he did to Elijah Woods.
And there's a real focus on protecting the players here.
Sure is.
At the MIAA level, and that's not what happened on that play.
No protection of the player there. Stripes missing a play, but not missing a few meals. Here we go. 3rd and a mile for the Spy Ponders. Woods under pressure. He's hit and he's thrown. That could be a live ball, but they blow it dead. It'll be 4th down, and the wheels are a bit coming off here for the Spy Ponders.
Yeah, they're moving in the wrong direction with the ball. Defense held last time. They'll have to hold again. Although the Stoneham's been in control of the football game, the score remains 14-6, and so this is still anybody's ball game.
Sure is anybody's ball game.
Here we have Pignon with the ball.
Here's Pignon over the left-hand side, zigzags and zooms into Spy Ponder territory, and that's where they'll take over 1st and 10 again in good field position.
And again, good coverage that time by the Ponders. Pignon danced around, really couldn't find a hole. 4 or 5 Ponders there, not diving for the ball, which can sometimes reveal an opening, but collapsing on the football, which is what you want to see in the kicking game.
And there you have some firework. We got some fireworks by the Spy Ponders and by the Stoneham Spartans tonight, and some fireworks over Spy Pond, because this is Town Day weekend. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Here's Pignon over the left-hand side. Bowls his way over the 40 to the 35. Goes Diego D'Almeida. And D'Almeida can run with that football.
And he had a lot of room to run. Big hole for D'Almeida. There he goes. I don't think he was touched until he was into the 2nd level, probably 10 yards downfield.
And you see him lowering his shoulder there and really being the hammer instead of the nail. That's what you like to see out of an offensive football player. Saw that a lot last year with Alec Coleman. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Clock rolls, coming up on 5 minutes left in the half. Here's DL Media, keeps himself, and there is a flag thrown in the area of holding. We'll see if that's the call.
Stripes looked a little upset on that play. He looked like he was throwing the flag as hard as he could right at a player. Just kind of fired it at the player's helmet.
Might be how one might throw a grenade.
We have a face mask. That's
Face
not
mask.
a good development.
No, that's why the anger out of the throw. Stripes was not happy with that face mask and demonstrated with a angry toss of the flag.
Yeah.
Which results in 15 yards against the Spy Ponders, and Stoneham doesn't need any help, and they're getting it.
Pignon ran a nice read option there. He's shown a full bag of tricks with a football.
Here's Pignon, 1st and 10. Here's the whistle. That was an option play there. This Pignon's an athlete, though. I mean, look at him. The way he moves his body, he's quick, nimble, athletic.
Carries himself well, runs the team well. They've been executing tonight, and quarterback leadership is a key to early season execution.
Well, for years they used to make fun of Joe Buck when he used to say that Derek Jeter had an elegant gait. But this quarterback has an air about him, a gait. His gait is a swagger. It's almost a swagger. There's a confidence about him that kind of just oozes all the way up into the booth. Don't you think?
Well, to quote you, Scott Zwick, that's an acute observation. Touche.
Touche is right. 1st and 10. Here's DL Media, zig and zagging and zooming down to the 5, to the 4. And he's down, looks close to a 1st down.
DL Media's got a little swagger as well.
Sure does. It's a 1-2 punch. We were led to believe this was a single punch, but this looks like a 1-2 punch to me.
See what happened here.
It was just DL Media running wild. Don't need a replay for that. Nobody touching him until he got to the 3. 1st and goal. DL Media, the deep back. It's given to the up back. And he's in for the touchdown. Tim Russell over the left-hand side. And another touchdown for Russell. And with 3:27 left in the 1st quarter, the Spartans are opening things up.
Looks like they're wearing the Ponders down a little bit. That helps.
The kick is up, and the kick amazingly is good.
Wow, from this angle it looked 3 yards short and 3 yards left. Looked like it hit the stripes. I guess it snuck over the goalpost.
It sure did. I think it went a foot past the goalpost. And that's kind of the way things have went for the Spy Ponders so far with 3:27 left in the 1st half, excuse me. They're down 21-0. And it's going to be all uphill from here for the Spy Ponders.
It's not only that they're down 21-6, but it looks like the Spartans are well in control of this football game at the line of scrimmage.
They're well in control at the line of scrimmage. They're well in control at the skill positions. And, you know, one has to wonder if it wasn't for that gaff where they didn't even cover Doherty, you know, where the Spy Ponders might be right now. But a lot of time left, and, you know, we saw the miracle last year against Woburn. Spy Ponders down this many points and came back to score.
So what, 14 points in a minute and a half to tie the ball game?
Anything can happen, and so you just got to keep digging, keep chopping.
You learn in football, you got to play every down.
Every down, you got to play it from the beginning to the end, and that's what a young team has to learn no matter what happens tonight, no matter what this score gets to. You keep digging, you keep chopping, you keep fighting. That's what we're going to look for here. digging and chopping.
And fighting.
Here goes Woods. There's a face mask. And Woods, I'll tell you, if there's been one bright spot tonight, it's been Elijah Woods on the return. They're going to attack on 15 yards on the face mask there. And this Elijah Woods looks great returning. He
looks great. He didn't have a massive hole that time. Kind of picked his way through the defense. He's fast. He's a jitterbug. He can cut, and he's made for this return game.
He sure is made for the return game. You know, I would say right now, with 3:20 left in the first half, the Spartans have an edge at every position conceivable on the field, except for return game, where I give the edge to the Spy Pounders.
Yeah. Well, and they've covered punts and kickoffs well as well. The special team has really been the bright spot.
Very strong for the Spy Pounders. 1st and 10, great field position here. See if they can do something with it. Here's Bowler. Woods the deep back. Little pitch, and it's a little catch. Little bubble screen, out, complete to Matt Pickett, and that's just what you like to see, a little pitch and catcher.
I think so. I like that play call. The old West Coast offense where your passing game turns into your running game. Get everybody going with short, high percentage passes. Haven't been able to run, haven't been able really to get the ball downfield. Let's try something new.
You'll see it tonight on ESPN. The Arizona State runs a very similar offense to that tonight. Here's a little pitch and a little catch. A little pitch and a little catch. This time it's Joey Pazia, and Pazia showing his versatility.
Yeah. And good. These are all, the last two plays have been little timing plays where the quarterback takes one step, turns, finds a receiver, and fires. And good timing that time from Bowler.
And you can hear the fireworks off in the distance as this is town night, town weekend, and the fireworks over at actual Spy Pond. And it brings up a 3rd and 1. Here's Bowler. He can run it if he wants, but he's going to throw it, and that's a pass interference. I think it might have actually been caught. No signal yet.
I think that was caught.
I believe it was caught by Matt Pickett. Wasn't intended for Matt Pickett. There was a pass interference on the play against the Spartans. So we'll see if the play is more than there's the pass interference. 1st down, they'll take the penalty. So it'll be 1st down for Arlington. And now they're in business, 1:53 left in the half.
They're in business. I like that play call. 3rd and 1. And we see them sprint Bowler to the outside and flood the zone. He found the open man. Good things happen.
Really started with that nice little pitch and catch on 1st down. Let's see if they back that up. Here's Bowler, little pitch. Incomplete.
That's okay. They got the juices flowing. They got the timing going a little bit.
These guys are wide open.
Yeah, wide open. Threw the ball on the cut, which is what you want to see for a timing play. Just a little bit outside.
A little bit outside, but I'd have to say, these young kids, I'm not knocking the kid, but that's a catchable ball. So,
yeah.
You like to see that out of Bowler. It's a good throw, and it's a ball that you're hoping gets caught. So here's 2nd and 10, 1:50 left in the first half. Spy Ponders down 21-6. Here's Bowler. He's had time all day. Looking for the end zone. It's incomplete. Little fade route there. You're going to bring up a 3rd and 10. You got to assume, Rob, this is 4-down territory for the Spy Ponders.
It's got to be 4-down territory. They're at what, the 22. If they have to give the ball back at the 22, then so be it. We'll see if they try to bite off run 2 plays that are over 10 yards, or try to bite it off 5 yards at a time.
I right now I'd go with Elijah Woods right up the A gap, right up that A gap. not going to do it. They're going deep. Little pitch. Throws high. It's intended for Matt Pickett.
All the receivers were covered that time. I tell you, the punters were doing better with the quick hitters than the step back in the pocket, read the defense type throws.
I think what might be Coach Gender thinking is his quarterback's got it. He's had time all day, so he's thinking maybe he's got some time. We're going to make.
He's going to use it.
Going to use the time. So here's 4th and 10, and now you can't do a little quick hit. It's got to be 10 yards, or you're going to turn the football over. 1:39 left in the half. Here's Boa time again. Little step, little throw. Kind of thrown in the middle of 2 receivers, and that's where the Spy Pirates will turn the football over to the Spartans at their own 22, and the drive looked good for a while, then we kind of sputtered.
Yeah, that's the promise of a good passing game where you move the ball downfield a little bit. That's also the problem of relying just on the pass. As you get to the 25, inside the 25-yard line, the field shortens and there's more defenders per square inch. It gets more difficult to move the ball.
Okay, so 1:33 left in the half. Here is Pignon and the keeper, and he's got room. Shows his speed and wisely goes out of bounds at the 40, and this Pignon is something special.
Beautiful run that time by Pignon. Showed some speed, got to the outside. What did we have there? We had a 40-yard run that time by Pignon.
Then he made it look easy.
Made it look easy.
Glides when he runs.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that doesn't burn a lot of energy. Both him and DL Media, they kind of glide when they run. They don't look like they're running very fast, but they sure are.
Yeah. It's good, good athletes, good football team.
Yeah, this is a nice club. 1st and 10, 1:24 left in the half. That left, yep, even I saw that from up here. 54 jump, that'll be 5 yards. And we've said that these penalties are drive killers, but Rob, have they really been drive killers for the Spartans tonight? Had we kept track of that stuff, we might be able to speculate. But
we need to have a drive, keep track of the drive killers. We haven't been doing that.
I don't think they've killed it. I don't think they've hurt him that bad. Can't have hurt him that bad. It's 21-6.
21-6.
Maybe it could
little
be,
boo-boo.
Maybe 45-6. I don't know.
They're not killers. They're just little injurers.
Yeah, they're mosquito bites.
Mosquito bites.
1st and 15. After that mosquito bite, he can run it if he wants. And will. It gets. I mean, there it is right there, Professor. I mean, there's nothing there. He just kind of glides up, and that's 10 yards.
It's
12
like
yards.
He took 4 steps and got 12 yards. It looked like.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he just, there he is. He's 12 yards downfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, he reminds me of the quarterback
from Lexington
2 years ago.
Exactly. I was just thinking that. I couldn't remember his name, so I didn't say it. He was also number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
He had that incredible pass.
Best play we've seen.
Best play we've seen
on Pierce Field.
Absolutely.
We've been doing this too long together.
We have. 2nd and 9. So
Once again.
So he takes a knee because he thinks Arlington's off sides, but I don't even. Is there a flag? You see a flag, Professor?
Oh, they're going to call this offsides on Arlington. So heads-up play by the center, snapping the ball.
It's a well-coached club. It's a well-coached club. The
heads-up play. Are those fireworks we can hear going off in the distance?
We can definitely hear the fireworks going off in the distance. They're having a big party over at Spy Pond here on Pierce Field. We aren't having so much fun. We're loving it. It's a beautiful night. But 21-6.
Oh, there we have it.
There it is. There it is. Wow, what a shot by our crack staff at ACMI Sports. 2nd and 5. Here's DLB. He's going to pitch it. It's a fumble. It's on the carpet. And it's recovered by the Spy Ponders with 1:09. And finally, we see
a flag on the play.
A flag on the play. Stripes belly hanging over, protecting it. Can we get a shot of that Stripes, please? Please, a shot of that Stripes protecting this flag. Please, a shot of the Stripes protecting this flag.
The Ponders say it's ours. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The question is, what's this flag going to be?
Stripes protecting.
Are they going to tell us?
Are they going to tell us? Stripes. There he is. Look at the stripe. He's wiping, protecting that flag, wiping some sweat off his brow. That is the Stripes working hard, getting it right. Holding on the offense. He picks up the flag, hands it off. Look at that mechanics. Flawless. Flawless effort by Stripes.
But here's what I want to know, Scott.
Look at him marching it off, and he marches it off on top of it. On top of his game, the Stripes. Protecting that flag with the belly. He hasn't missed a meal in a month preparing for this game. 21-6.
We're having some fun now, but my question is, Scott, if it was a penalty on the offense, why was that not a fumble?
I am assuming they're saying the ball was retrieved out of bounds by the Spy Ponders, is what they're saying. Here's DL Media looking for, or Pignon, excuse me, that time. He looked for Devin Chase.
One wonders why they think they have to throw the ball. They've been so successful with a run. There's 1:05 left to go in the half. That's probably the reason. They'd love to get in the end zone again. But that time the play was well covered by the Spy Ponders.
Well covered by the Spy Ponders. I got excited there, Professor. I got to apologize to the folks at home. I thought it was Spy Ponder football. That's why I was juiced up, ready to go there. But I guess he was out of bounds. I'm pretty sure that's what the call was. So it's 3rd and 10. Here's Pignon in a quarterback draw. Zigzag, zooms, and he gets the first down. That'll stop the clock with 58.8 seconds left. And this is when the Spartans will use one of their 5 timeouts in the half, and this Pignon just shows you what he can do.
Nice play by Pignon.
On a full moon Friday.
Beautiful Friday, fall football, nice night for the home opener. Pierce Field never really looked better. Field's in great shape.
Fields
love the new uniforms. You like the new uniforms, Scott?
Love the new uniforms. Love the gray. Big fan of the gray. We had similar uniforms years ago when I was coaching the basketball team. We went gray and had uniforms very similar to this, and so I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
like
the helmets. Looks good with the maroon. Kind of Harvard has similar uniforms, I think.
Yeah.
Do they not?
They do. They do. Very similar to Harvard. Similar to Harvard and similar to Texas A&M.
Yes.
In college. 1st and 10. Here's Pignon in a fake reverse. He's got the football. He can run it if he wants, but he's going to throw it. He's got a man down there. It is incomplete or fumbled. I'm not really sure which.
I think it was complete and then fumbled.
I think it was complete and fumbled, and they're going to say, Stripes is talking about it. They haven't signaled. Rob, have you seen a signal? I haven't seen a signal.
I haven't seen a signal, but I assume they're going to give him that. They're moving the chains. Let's see if we can see what happens here. Pignon back to pass. Doesn't find a receiver. Tosses it deep.
It's fumbled, and then it's recovered by Stoneham.
Yeah, I think he caught the ball, and I think he recovered it.
Great job by our crack staff on the replay there to show the fumble, and it was recovered by Stoneham. And so it's going to be 1st and goal for Stoneham at the 5, and quite a bit of serendipity there in that play.
I'll have to look up serendipity, but it was too bad that the Ponders didn't get an interception because they got very close to snagging that one before the ball was received by the Spartans.
It was, and it was just a very fortuitous bounce that didn't go the Spy Ponders' way. Just really nothing's gone the Spy Ponders' way other than Stripes protecting that flag. So we'll have 1st and goal for the Spartans. And again, here's those timeouts we talked about. There's just an endless amount of timeouts, and they can afford to call a timeout. They've got a couple in pocket. If I'm doing my timeouts in my head correctly.
Yeah. And you'd call them too if you were the coach.
No
That was a good call.
No
timeout call.
No doubt.
Set the offense.
No doubt. Here's Diomede over the right-hand side where he's had success to the 2, to the 1. And there's the signal, and he's in. Diomede over the right-hand side powers his way in. And the Spartans showing a little bit of everything on that drive. That time it's Diomede over the right-hand side.
And just kind of walks into the end zone, gets met at the end zone line, but by that time it's too late.
And now he tries the extra point. The kick is up. And the kick is good. And with 40.5 seconds left, the Spartans of Stoneham take a 28-6 lead and rob really that whole last 2 minutes was just about chaos.
Yeah, and
chaos that didn't work out for the Spy Ponders.
Didn't work out for the Spy Ponders. That's going to be a little demoralizing going into halftime. We'll see if they can regroup. They look to have gotten the ball on a fumble recovery that didn't go their way. We think they recovered it out of bounds. Almost got an interception down at the 4-yard line. Instead, the Spartans got the ball. Spartans fumbled the ball and then recovered. And just before halftime, the Spartans get into the end zone.
Just before halftime, I tell you, if we were on any other level, there would have been replay there. I think it was really close whether the Spy Ponders recovered the football inbounds or out of bounds. And the Stripes took a long time to decide which way it was going to go. But I'm also a little bit confused, and you know how much I'm a rules guy. I don't understand how the penalty is then tacked on after the play to the Spartans, and the Spy Ponders don't get the football there. I don't know. I guess maybe I answered my own question.
That they recovered it out of bounds. I don't know what the holdup was on that call. Either you saw it or you didn't.
Right. So 40.5, and Elijah Woods, who's had a lot of success. This time it's fumble. It's not Elijah Woods. Falling on the ball is Nicholas Samuelson-Hawley.
That's okay. 35 seconds left, 80 yards to go. I think we're going to see the Ponders sit on the ball. The question is, do the Spartans use their last 2 timeouts and try to get the ball back again? I'm not sure there's enough time on the clock for them to do that and then to score. So I think we're going to see just a harmless running out of the clock here. We'll see.
That's what I think we're going to see, and hopefully maybe the Spy Ponders can get a few yards here to get a little bit of momentum going into the second half. They really haven't gotten anything going on the ground. 1st and 10 from the 20. Here's Woods over the right-hand side. He spins, gets about 4, maybe 5 yards. Clock rolls, coming up on 25 seconds left in the half, and it looks like the Spartans are going to let it go. And just to let you know, at halftime, we're going to have a couple of things for you. First, we're going to have a preseason interview with Coach Gendron, who talked about what they were looking forward to the upcoming season. And after that, we hope to have AD Melissa Dugalecki in here to talk about the fall sports schedule. Here's Elijah Woods on the left-hand side. He's got room, gets the outside, zigzags and zooms to the 40 to the 45 as the clock runs out. And that'll give the Spy Ponders a little momentum going into halftime.
Elijah Woods showing some spunk, refusing to go down, hit on the sidelines and stays alive and powers forward for another 10 yards. That's a big plus. Elijah Woods ran for 175 yards last week, and he showed some spunk on that play.
Showed some spunk in that play, showed some spunk on the return plays. Maybe that'll give the Spy Ponders a little bit of spark into the second half as we look at a full moon on town night in Arlington, and the full crowd, just a wonderful atmosphere. The score isn't going the way the Spy Ponders in the first half. Maybe they can turn that around, but we're going to hear from Coach Gendron on what he thought about
We graduated a lot of seniors from the previous team, so we have a lot of guys stepping into leadership roles and starting positions who don't necessarily have varsity experience. And so this summer we're really trying to help them get bigger, stronger, better shape, but more used to the pressure of being the guy, you know, and that's a difficult thing for a teenage kid who's never done it before. So we have a few returning starters. Defensively, we have Mike Thielbar, who is our biggest, strongest kid. He started on both sides of the line last year, and he's gotten really big and really strong. So he's an explosive kind of lineman, so I would expect him to make lots of plays. We have a defensive end that we moved to linebacker, John Bowen. He's one of our best all-around defensive players, and so I think you'll see him making a lot of tackles. And then our other two returning defensive starters will be playing outside linebacker on both sides. So we have Jay Nascimento on one side, we have Mike Doherty on the other side, and I think they make a pretty strong linebacking core. At receiver, we have Jaden Doughton, who's a sophomore and has been making plays all summer, as well as some more experienced senior receivers, Mike Mazzy, James Bradley. So there's a lot of guys, a lot of different ways I think we can move the ball, which might be different to watching games last year. And so I'm excited about all of it. We have the benefit of one of the biggest, best stocked fitness rooms, I think, in the greater Boston area for a high school. We have lots of space in there, lots of equipment, thanks in large part to recent donors like the Touchdown Club, and the high school themselves have put a lot of money, time, and effort into that room. So that allows us to have stations. So a typical lift will consist of 4 stations, 3 lifts and a cardio or core station. So our workouts start for about an hour in the weight room, stretching, getting 3 main lifts in with some supplemental lifts, and a good core session. And then we come out here. We do about 20 to 30 minutes of sprint training, endurance training, or change of direction training. Yeah, so the 2 things we do to prevent injury, one of it is conditioning, because the muscles have to be ready to perform for a 2-hour window for a game, which is a really long time, a lot of stress on the body. The other thing for injury prevention is stretching. We put a lot of time into increasing their flexibility, because the longer those muscles can stretch, then if they do stretch in a game more than usual, they're less likely to suffer an injury. So that's a huge focus. And I think the other big thing that comes out of conditioning or strength and conditioning is like the camaraderie that evolves. You know, these guys doing it together, and they hold each other accountable, and they see the value in it. So it becomes the expectation that you're here and you're working and you're making yourself better. When I first got hired, one of the big questions from the school and the kids themselves was, how do we get more people to the games? You know, they want to be watched. They like the pressure of having a big crowd. I think in big moments it helps push them over the edge. And so maybe the fan doesn't realize what they're doing for the players, but the players really appreciate it. Otherwise, I mean, everything we do, we either fundraise or it's through the school, you know, just supported by the community. And so I think in revitalizing the weight room and in having this beautiful turf and in redoing the track, I think the community already does a lot in making sure we have the kind of facilities to compete with the best schools in this area. And we're in the Middlesex League, the large division. Those are really strong schools and strong communities. So I think kind of supporting us, having our back, you know, coming to the games, building the excitement, I think that's really what is happening. So I appreciate not only ACMI helping get our message out to the community, but also the reciprocal nature of people tuning in and listening and being interested. That's great.
And we're back at halftime of the 2016 Spy Ponder opener. The Spy Ponders are down 28-6 at the half. We're lucky to have athletic director Melissa Dugalecki with us at halftime. Melissa, tell us a little bit about the fall sports at Arlington.
Yeah, fall sports are off to a great start. We have both of our boys and girls cross-country programs. They had their first meet last week, and the girls came out on top. The boys had a great race, and sophomore Ryan Oosting set the course record for Melrose, which is exciting. Boys and girls soccer are both playing well. Field hockey's doing well. Volleyball just won tonight. Swimming is competing in the Middlesex League for the second year. Golf's off to a strong start. So, all the teams are working really hard.
That's great. Great to hear. Tell us a little bit about the athletics. What was that?
The athletics night.
Athletics
Yes,
night. Tell us a little bit
absolutely.
about the fun athletics night.
Yeah, so we have our annual Arlington Athletics Night, and we have reshaped it each year based on the demands of our needs and programs and what makes the most sense to make it a meaningful and productive use of time. It's a really special night from my end because it's the only night of the entire year where all of our programs, athletes, no matter what level or what sport or what season, and all those coaches come together. So we started actually with a ribbon cutting ceremony of our fitness room, which was about a year-long project with the support of the community, spearheaded by Jim Carney of the Touchdown Club, other various supporters. We were able to make about $30,000 worth of improvements to that fitness room, fully painted, new equipment, all donated and volunteered efforts.
That is just tremendous, and really, it's great that you say that on town night. Because we're getting in the spirit of, Arlington, people volunteering, doing good for the youth of Arlington. And speaking of the youth of Arlington, we're in the 4th year of the Captain's Club.
Yeah, it's the 4th year of the Captain's Council, so they meet once a week before school and give season updates on their program. They talk about leadership training, set goals for themselves as, they are the point people for, about 400 athletes. So, yeah, they have a powerful role in their role of leadership.
400 athletes this year?
Yeah, we had about 450 registered. With final teams, it's about 400 right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal number. You've had so much success. It looks like the fall is off to a great start.
Yeah.
And we look forward to having you come back during the season to give us more updates.
Great. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Congratulations on a super start to the fall.
Thanks, and thanks for all your support.
Awesome. So we'll be back in a little bit for the start of the second half. That was Melissa Dugalecki, the athletic director, and we'll be back to start the second half. And we're back. So we had a great halftime there with a little bit from Coach Gendron and a little bit from the AD, Melissa Dugalecki. And Rob, it's 28-6 Spartans. How did we get there?
Well, Scott scoring started in the first quarter. Spartans broke the ice with a 4-yard TD run by DL Media at 4:48 to make it 7-0. The Spy Ponder answered with a 52-yard strike from Bowler to Doherty to make it 76. After that, it was all Spartans. Pignoni to Russell for 36 yards, made it 14-6, 21-6. We have a 3-yard TD run by Tim Russell with 3:27 to go in the half. And the scoring was capped by Mr. D. Media, a 4-yard run with 40 seconds left in the half to make it 28-6.
And it was 28-6, and really it was the Spartans dominating in all phases of the game.
Yeah, they did. They controlled the line of scrimmage, and they had their way. Pignon ran an option really to perfection. They hit inside, they hit outside, and the Ponders really didn't have any answers. On the Ponders side of the ball, they had a bright spot in the second quarter. They moved the ball a little bit when they went to a quick strike passing game. We'll see if they go to that as their identity a little bit out here in the second half.
Well, I think you mentioned identity, Rob, and I think you hit the nail on the head. I think they're searching for their identity right now. I think they're not really sure what they are. Are they a passing team? Are they a running team? Are they a short passing team? Are they a long passing team? I like what I've seen out of Bowler so far. He's got a strong arm. He's got time in the pocket. He's thrown some good strikes. But the question is Are you a vertical team, or are you kind of more of a horizontal team? And I think that's the big question that hasn't been answered yet.
And it takes some time to figure that out, and give Bowler some credit. He's a sophomore, a lot of youth out on the field for the Pawners tonight, and they're kind of finding their way.
They sure are finding their way, and you know when you're starting a sophomore at quarterback, and your tailback's a junior, and you've got sophomore captain and junior captains and the like, you're going to have some nights you're going to struggle for a half. Hopefully it's just a half. A lot of time to turn things around in the second half. Unfortunately, the Stoneham Spartans start with the football, start the second half. There's another little squib kick. They want to keep it away from Pignon, and that's wise, but the problem with that is you give it to Tim Russell, who's already scored a couple of times this ball game, and he stumbles, bumbles, and mumbles all the way over to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, that squib kick is on purpose, and they may want to rethink that one as the game goes along. Hopefully, they'll have a lot more chances to kick the ball. We'll see about that.
We sure will see, but you got to wonder, how much more damage Pignon can do than, you certainly don't want to give him field position at the 44, but that's what they've done, and it's 1st and 10. Over the right-hand side, this a fumble. It was an option play. Pignon was trying to get it to DL Media. And they've had a little trouble with that connection the entire game.
Yeah, they haven't ironed that out yet. You've heard of the back shoulder throw. That was the back shoulder pitch. The back shoulder pitch is not what you want to see.
No, the old back shoulder pitch.
Yeah, and he fired it in there too. So they've, their third ball game. I think they'll be practicing that one this week.
You would think. It's the one thing that the one weakness seems to be Pignon's kryptonite is the pitch. He's got everything else down pat. 2nd and 12. Here's DL Media over the right-hand side where he's had lots of success all game long. And Rob, we were talking at half about DL Media's running style, and whether we were kind of going back and forth is could that be a problem down the line, or is that maybe just how he runs?
Well, specifically, he runs up and down a little bit. We'll see it here on the replay. Watch him hit the hole. He hits the hole fast. Oh, that's the pitch play. That's the back shoulder pitch that didn't work out. So DL Media hits the hole fast, and he's got a real nice stride. But he runs up and down, and he's going to take some hits to the sternum. That could be dangerous for a running back over time.
3rd and 7. It's a run play for DL Media, and he glides his way and then just kind of falls forward to the 38.
Pignon,
he doesn't seek out contact. He kind of glides when he runs. Very smooth player.
Smooth player, and it's a luxury for the Spartans that 3rd and 7, no problem. We'll just run the quarterback. Good for them. He didn't lower his shoulder and bring the wood by any chance. He kind of tiptoed into the defender.
he kind of sat down like my golden retriever does after a heavy meal. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Here's Pignon. There's the pitch. It's executed flawlessly this time, and DL Media stumbles over the 30 to about the 32. DL Media really reminds me of a player that we had for Arlington a few years ago by the name of Roach.
Yeah.
It kind of runs a lot like Roach. This is kind of like Roach running. That kind of
and
upward style. Roach
reminded of Marcus Allen. I'm not sure that DL Media is Marcus Allen.
Not quite. 2nd and give him 4. Here's DL Media going right. Really right, like the right side of that line, and the left side of the Arlington defensive line has had its struggles tonight, Rob.
That's where they've gone when they've needed yards. And I don't know if the DL Media and Pignon are trying to take care of the ball. He didn't embrace contact that time either at the point of the tackle.
Which is strange because you saw him do it in the first half. You wonder if maybe that's something the coaches really emphasized in the second half, that, hey, look, we're going to keep control of this football no matter what. 3rd and 1. They give it to Doherty. They give it to Russell, and Russell plows his way over the 25 to about the 23 where the sticks will move, the clock will roll. Coming up on 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, Spartans leading 28-6.
And if you're the Spartans, keeping the Ponders off the field is another pretty bright strategy here. Shorten the game, keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock rolling. You can't score the ball if you don't have the ball.
1st and 10 for DL Media. DL Media gets the ball over the right-hand side. Handed off by Pignon. And it's really right now, it's DL Media right, DL Media right, DL Media right, and they're going to just run it until it gets stopped. That time a decent enough job by the Spy Ponder men up front, held them to 2, be 2nd and 8.
Was that Ryan Mathers who made that stop?
Yes. Oh, there's a fumble. Hits the ground, and another fortuitous bounce. Serendipity all over the place for the Spartans. Another ball hits the ground and ends up back in their hands. Is that the 3rd time tonight that a ball has hit the ground and they've ended up retaining it? Am I correct in that?
Yeah, it is, and the odds are against that boy. It bounced right back up to him. Any other kind of bounce, and the Ponders have a shot.
He couldn't do that if he tried.
Yeah, couldn't do it if he tried.
3rd and 10. Got to think this is 4-down territory. DL Media's the kicker, and he certainly doesn't have a leg, as we saw him clear an extra point by a 1/2 foot. And now it's a quarterback draw. And there goes Pignon. Gets about 4 or 5. Just when you think you got him wrapped up for none, he slithers his way for 3 or 4.
Yeah. Ponders defense is stiffening a little bit. Really 3 or 4 nice plays in a row by the big men up front. And this is 4-down territory by Stoneham, 4th and 6. We'll see if they throw the ball. You think they throw the ball here? Probably not, the way Pignon is running.
It's either going to be, to me, as I say Pignon right, or
kind of option of some
maybe
kind.
an option of some kind to give Pignon a choice. Yeah, going to give him a choice, and he can run it if he wants. Cuts back, slithers, zigzags and zooms for a 1st down, and that's going to move the sticks and keep the clock rolling.
That's going to be pretty close. Lot of gray hats over there, a lot of white hats too. Quite a struggle. The Stripes are not committing to a 1st down.
They are not. I thought it was a sure 1st down.
I think they may not give it to him.
They may not. He zigzagged and zoomed, and when he zoomed, well, where they're placing that ball is a 1.5 yards past the stick. So I'm confused.
Well, they hit about 1 yard short, and let's see what happens. Looks like by inches.
Inches is a 1st down.
That was one of those plays where there was a big pileup at the 1st down yard marker, and big tight end Devin Chase for the Spartans came in and moved the pile from behind. Illegal play, one you see often. We've talked about that, and that time it was effective.
Sure was effective. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 21. No, from the 11 for the Spartans. Here's DL Media. I'm Kreskin. I knew it was going to be DL Media, so I called his name before it happened.
Fortuitous.
And
serendipitous, perhaps?
Serendipitous, a little bit of celestial.
meritocratic.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Are we going to drag the viewers into this?
No. Into this morass? No.
This morass. Oh, you're up in the ante, Mr. Zwick.
Second and 1. They can get a first down without a touchdown. They give it to the up back, and he rolls into the end zone. Tim Russell on a 6-yard score to break the game wide open for the Stoneham Spartans.
Third time for Russell into the end zone tonight. The first was a 36-yard reception from Pignon, then a 3-yard run, and now a 6-yard run. Nice night for Mr. Russell.
The kick is up, and the kick is good, and with 3:03 left in the third quarter, it's all Spartans, 35-6. And Rob, I'll tell you something that I like about this Spartan team. So here we are, a drive that takes up almost 3/4 of the third quarter. It's Pignon right, Pignon right, Pignon right. Then it's Pignon left. Then it's sprinkle in a little bit of Deal Media left, Deal Media right. And then right when you think it's a two-headed monster, here comes Tim Russell, and Tim Russell is running to the end zone.
That's a great point, Scott. The Russell, it looks like a high-quality back. Might be the star of some other offense, and right here he's the number 3 option, and they sneak him in. They use him at exactly the right time to get in the end zone.
He's been untouched in the end zone twice. Two of those are untouched. I mean, ran 6 yards. What was the other one? 4, I believe, Rob.
Yeah.
And 6 and 4 were untouched. Ran in the end zone untouched.
And to be honest, that was not a bad defensive stand by the Potters.
No, not at all.
They just couldn't quite get there, but they were only allowing 4 or 5 yards a clip. Brought Stoneham to 4th down twice.
So taken by the up back here. Oh, he's hit hard. A nice hit. And I think Elijah Woods might be down. I believe that's Elijah Woods. He's limping.
It's like he's got an ankle or a knee. Doesn't look so serious, but you never want to see a player down.
No, and especially not of the caliber. It's Matt Pickett, 31. No, that is that is Elijah Woods. Sorry, 34. These numbers are very tough. I love the uniforms, but the numbers are very hard to decipher from so far away.
Yeah, we had a collision between two punters, and that is sometimes a little dangerous on a football field. You don't always anticipate getting hit by your own guy, and you don't brace yourself. You're not ready for it.
Exactly. 1st and 10 for the Spy Ponders. The give is to
that looked like a play that the Spartans might run.
Yeah.
5.5, 6 yards over left end, kind of power running play.
C gap there. Brings up a 2nd and very manageable. First time in since I can remember the Spy Ponders with some real positive 1st down yards. This gives them lots of options in 2nd and 3rd down. And I'm not even sure who the deep back is. I can't see the number. It's given to the up back. And he stumbles, bumbles, and mumbles. Close to an Arlington 1st down. Goes Nicholas Samuelson Hawley.
Hawley is the deep back. Hawley's the deep back.
Boys, back up, black line.
They're saying that was Elijah Woods in the carry, and Rob, I don't think it was.
No, I don't think it was Elijah Woods. Hawley was the deep back.
It was good for 9th down.
And Woods is back in the ballgame.
Good to see.
Let's go!
Here's Bowler. He's got a man, and it's picked off by Pignon, but well out of bounds. So a little run-pass option there for Bowler.
And he chose to pass. If he didn't chose to pass, he would have been smart to hightail it out of bounds. There were 4 hungry Spartans right on his tail.
Right on his case. 2nd and 10 for the Spy Ponders.
Now we've got, it looks like Samuelson Holly getting worked out on the sidelines here. Might be a cramp.
Elijah Woods is the deep back.
Let's go!
He's going to take the ball over the right-hand side. He's got room, and a first down goes Elijah Woods, who shakes off the injury, showing some toughness.
Wow, he really delivered a blow at the end of that run there. You're right, Elijah Woods looked strong that time. And that time he lowered his shoulder and hit Tim Russell, halfback to halfback, mano a mano. I think Russell got the worst of that one.
I'm sure he did. Ouch. Here it is. Hammer. Bang, bang.
Bang. Ran right over him.
Right over him. 1st and 10 for the Spy Ponders. Looked like the Spartans jumped off sides. Woods goes over the left-hand side, drags number 76 for another 3 or 4 yards. So you're looking at, what, a 1st and 5 or a 2nd and 5. So it'll be 1st and 5 for the Spy Ponders.
1st and 5 for the Spy Ponders, and all of a sudden the Spy Ponders are getting 5, 6, 7 yards a chunk. 7, 8, 9 yards a chunk, and that's you got to think that that's what they wanted to do coming into the ballgame.
Yes.
They were biding their time, waiting to get the ball in the 3rd quarter while the Spartans controlled the ball, and come on the field with a little fire here.
They sure have. This is what you want to see. Every down counts. Every down counts with a young team, with an inexperienced team. Every down counts. Here's Woods looking for the edge. Can't get the edge. He's wrapped up. He looked for the edge. He couldn't get it. A nice tackle there. Pignon, and geez, this Pignon's everywhere as the clock winds down to the end of the 3rd quarter. And our score is Stoneham 35, Arlington 6. And Rob, on ACMI Sports, Friday Night Football, how did we get there?
Scott, the scoring started in the 1st quarter. DL Media, a 4-yard run at 4:48. The Ponders responded, a 52-yard strike. Bowler to Doherty made it 7-6. After that, for a while, it was all Spartans. Pignon to Russell for 36 yards. Tim Russell over left tackle for 3 yards. DL Media, a 4-yard run, and a 6-yard TD run by Tim Russell brought us to where we are right now.
So it's really been a 3-headed monster for the Spartans. For the Spy Ponders, they're really trying to get sophomore quarterback Adam Bowler going, and they've had mixed success.
Mixed success. He's a sophomore. He's showing a good arm, and he had the long TD pass. He had a couple of timing passes that were beautiful strikes. He's had a lot of time in the pocket, but the Spartans have covered the downfield plays really, really well. And when they've gone downfield, the Ponders and Mr. Bowler just haven't connected.
Well, they're going to try to punch one in here. 2nd and manageable, 7 yards for the Spy Ponders. Here's Woods going left. He zigs, he zags, falls over the 40 to about the 36, going to bring up a 3rd and very manageable 3 yards. And Woods looks like he's shown a little life after coming off limping.
What do we call it? Yak? Yards
Yak,
after
yak.
contact. Yards after contact. He's getting some of that. He's getting some yak, which is always a good sign. Shows some wakes up a football team. And I got to tell you, we're talking about Adam Bowler. It's a lot easier to throw the ball on 3rd and 3 when your running back is getting yacked than on 3rd and 15.
Here's Bowler, little pitch, and it was intended for Matt Pickett, and Bowler's got a super strong arm, Professor, but maybe is he kind of maybe overthrowing some of these passes?
The passes that are going to the left, I think he's thrown too hard. I think that's something that will be identified and that will be worked on. Partly the game needs to slow down a little bit for him. This is his first taste of Pierce Field. He's a sophomore. You know, that'll come with comfort level on the football field. But right now he's turning around, he's firing the ball, and on a 4-yard, little 4-yard out, you don't need that kind of speed.
So you're talking to a couple of quarterbacks here, both former quarterbacks at the high school level. You were fortunate enough to play at the college level. You know, when you had that adrenaline going, did you sometimes find that there was a little extra on your ball that maybe you didn't intend?
Absolutely, and I think that's what we're seeing here. What was your experience?
My experience was that I didn't have a strong, my experience was that I tended to overcompensate a little bit and take a little bit off, and sometimes I found myself floating balls a little bit. I was more of a touch passer than a power passer, but in big games I tended to throw high. It wasn't necessarily hard. I threw high. The ball sailed on me. I was throwing it, you know, the adrenaline would overtake me and the ball would release a little bit high. He's not really throwing it high, although it's a little bit high. I think it's just a little bit hard, and I think it's the adrenaline pumping through him, the excitement of the first game at Pierce Field.
You know, I think so, and it's interesting you use the word overcompensate. I've noticed that he's when he's throwing the ball left, he's doing that. It can be a little bit more difficult to throw the ball across your body to the left, and he may be overcompensating a little bit by putting some extra juice on it.
Well, here's a big play, 4th down. They need 2. Here's Woods. It's going to be close. He spins. I'm not sure he got it. What do you say? What's the call here, Professor?
It depends a lot on the mark. It looks like they're not giving him a generous mark, but we'll see. Ponders are signaling that they have it.
This is close.
Number 66, and they're going to give
sticks. It to him. Way to go, Stripes. There we go.
We're a little biased. We think Stripes got it right that time.
They got it right. They got it right. You know, I tell you, I do want to get serious. You know, we're giving Stripes a little bit of a hard time in the first half, but I got to tell you, they're you know, week in and week out, year in and year out, they're a hard-working crew. They come down here, they give a great effort, and you know they keep these games fair, and they're a vital part of this process. And they've done a nice job tonight. You know,
They haven't been intruding on the game. They haven't been flag happy.
And you know, and they've just done a nice job. We'll give it a little bit of ribbon before, but they've done a nice job. So 1st and 10 for the Spy Ponders. They're chipping away. They're banging. Here's Woods. He zigs and zags. Another 2 or 3 yards, and you know the game's going on. You know, and we keep saying every play is important, and it seems to be every play is important to Elijah Woods.
Elijah Woods is coming alive on this possession here in the second half a little bit. You know, there's 9-24, 23, 22. What's at stake here is what kind of football team they're going to be. They need to get the ground game going a little bit. This is almost turning into a scrimmage. And, you know, they're showing up. They can feel proud of that.
2nd and 8. They give it to the up back, whose number I can't see. Rob, if you get that number, I would be eternally grateful. It is Joey Pazia. Joey Pazia pounding his way down. Pazia showing some strength. And you know, Rob, you said, what's at stake here? I'll tell you what's at stake. Everything's at stake. When you're a young football team and you're 0-1, everything's at stake.
Yeah.
You know, positions are at stake. The who's going to play next game is at stake. Who's going to play next series is at stake. So, you know, this is all important stuff.
And it is a young football team. Mr. Pazzi, who just carried the ball, a sophomore.
Super sophomore. Coming up at 8:20 left in the game. 3rd and 3. Little broken play here.
Whoops.
Whoopsie daisy is right, and Adam Bowler falls down. It's a loss of 1, and that's so frustrating to see after they've really gotten something going, and then you have a miscue.
On third down as well. It looked like Bowler was expecting for a running back to be on his left. The running back was on his right. Not clear what happened, but what's happening is 4th and 5. You know, we haven't seen any turnovers tonight by the Ponders. First home game, that's a little bit of a bright spot. No interceptions. They haven't put the ball on the ground.
No, they haven't put the ball on the ground. On the flip side, you know, I'll tell you, it's 35-6, but three times, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't think I am. Three times tonight, the Spartans have dropped the football, and the football has hit the ground, and all 3 times they retained possession. Twice recovering themselves, and once Arlington recovered it out of bounds. That is just luck, flat-out luck. You're not going to fumble the ball 3 times, have it hit the ground, and you're going to get all 3 of them most of the time. You know, what's a fumble recovery rate? 50% at best?
It's a 50-50
It's got to be a 50-50 ball.
Yeah.
So, you know, okay, am I sitting here going to, you know, I'm not going to tell lies here that I think Arlington could be winning this game.
No.
But I think that certainly do those terms go the other way. Could we be looking at a 28-14 ball game, 28-21 ball game?
Yeah.
I think certainly we could.
Yeah. If you're the Ponders, I think that you'd like to start the game over right now. There's no question the Spartans have controlled the line of scrimmage and controlled this football game. But the last defensive drive stand and this offensive stand have been encouraging.
Very encouraging. Here's 4th down. Here's Bowler. Adam Bowler, he had a man open, covered by Russell, and I'll tell you, the kid Russell, he's just a football player. He's tough. He plays offense. He plays defense. He mixes it up. He's in coverage. He does it all. I'm impressed with the kid.
That's true, and you raise a point, Scott. He plays offense. He plays defense. You got to wonder how much longer the Spartans are going to be playing their best athletes 2 ways.
Yeah, 2 ways, you know, and you know, I'm shocked right now that I'm seeing
Pignon still playing defense.
What you lose Pignon, your season's over.
Yeah, what are you doing?
It's over. There is no season. You're up 35-6, 7:43. So Pignon hands off. Pignon is a senior, so he certainly doesn't need the experience. Rob, can you explain to me why, with 7:27 left in a 35-6 ball game, Pignon is in this ball game?
Why is he playing defense? Why is he playing offense? Yeah.
Can you?
I can't explain it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I can't either.
There's no
logical reason for it.
No reason for it.
Now, I mean, I can even stretch it a bit further and say this might be a little bit unsportsmanlike, but I'm not even going to go there. I'm just looking for the health of your season. He goes down, season over for the Spartans, and here he is carrying the football. So now Pignon's carrying the football in a 35-6 ball game with 6 minutes left in the game, up the middle, subjecting himself to tackles by the Arlington first-line defense.
That might have been his call that time. It looked like Michael Thielbar, who, by the way, has had a very nice game tonight.
Great game for Thielbar.
Was split out wide, maybe even into the B gap, and I think that Pignon might have called an audible there and took the matters into his own hands.
I can't imagine any coach in his right mind would want Pignon handling the football and getting tackled up 35-6 with 6 minutes left in the ball game. Over the left-hand side goes, of course, Deal Media, another senior, for a first down. And so now as the clock rolls under 6 minutes, the discussion has to take place as to when do you decide that you want to give players with less experience some experience in a 35-6 ball game. Is it with 6 minutes left to go in a 35-6 ball game? My answer is yes. You?
No question.
No question?
My answer is yes. I'm counting up the players on the Spartan squad to see if maybe the answer is that they have a small squad. Maybe they don't have the players, but I'm not seeing that. It looks like there's 40 plus players on the football team. It looks like the Ponders have about 45 players this year. Nice squad for the Ponders.
So the Spy Ponders can't really take their first team out if the Spartans don't take their first team out, because you certainly don't want varsity A plus varsity players playing against junior varsity players. Somebody might get hurt.
Absolutely.
So you can't point any fingers at Arlington here, and I'm not pointing a finger in an angry fashion. I'm just pointing out that it's 35-6, and the Stoneham Spartans have their starters in the ball game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out the facts. And
That's right.
I'm posing it to you. Would you do that? You said no. I said no. And I guess we're going to leave it at that.
I guess we'll leave it at that. My no is I'd embellish on that a little bit. It's kind of early in the season. If you're Stoneham, you don't know when you're going to get this chance again, and this is a non-conference tilt. So going into the conference, you might want to get a look at your team, see who you got. In conference, you might want to kind of hang on a little longer, be more conservative. Tonight, no reason for that.
So, and just right on cue, he pulls the starters. So now Lebestier is in at McCabe is in at quarterback, and the running back is Eliud.
Again, nice pursuit, nice tackling by the Ponders.
Clock rolls. We're coming up on 5 minutes left in the contest here. Spy Ponders down 35-6. Starters have been pulled from both sides. This is a good time for the reserve, the junior varsity players, the younger players to get some action. They've worked hard all week. They've practiced hard all summer. They've lifted those weights, and this is their time to get a chance to play.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch. The Ponders squad at lower levels had a lot of success last year. What was the freshman team? 7-4 on the year.
7-4 was the freshman team. They had a lot of success, and you're looking at a team like Arlington who looks like where they're going to drop to 0-2, and so out here you're saying that maybe these are the second stringers or the junior varsity but when you're 0-2, lots of jobs are open.
Yeah.
Lots of jobs are open.
Coach Gendron has said that he intends for there to be a lot of competition on the football team. So these guys have every incentive to play hard.
If it's a meritocracy, as you claim, these are big plays for the Spy Ponder deep defenders. And right there you have a nice play by a gang of Spy Ponders, led by number 70, Gustavo Sajan. And Sajan made a nice little play there. Brings up 4th down, and the Spartans will punt. Clock rolls coming up on 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the ball game.
Little shenanigans after the play there to tell the players are still fighting hard. Didn't want to acknowledge the whistle. Guys fighting for the football.
I love the word shenanigans. Anytime you can shoehorn that into the broadcast.
What
shenanigans?
Shenanigans.
I love it. Shenanigans. And there's a punt with a great bounce for the Spartans. And it's woo. You don't want to be doing that. You let it go.
Just as we talk about the fact that they haven't put the ball on the ground, I would hate to think that we jinxed it. Caused a muff punt.
Could be, as you know, I'm a big believer. I'm a big believer in the supernatural, the jinxes, the
karma.
The karma. You not so much, but if they fumble here, we will have jinxed them.
I've I'm holding my breath. We have a flag on the play. Let's see if we can see it here. I don't know what they really called. It was on the return, which wasn't a return.
So 2:43 left in the contest. Mercifully, or hopefully mercifully, they will be running the ball here. There goes the left-hand side. A zig, a zag, and a zoom. And Rob, if you get a number on that, that is number 5, my spotter.
It's Holly.
Nicholas Samuelson Holly. Colin Gilbert, my spotter, my ace spotter today, spotting there and doing a great job with the sound, Mr. Gilbert. Keenan Varney in at tailback.
Quarterback.
In at quarterback, Keenan Varney. Varney hands off. Now Varney is a junior, so he was certainly competing for the position with Bowler. And, you know, going forward, maybe we'll see a little bit of Varney. These are big snaps for him.
Yeah, these are big snaps for Mr. Varney, getting a little taste of Friday Night Lights. Let's see how he responds.
You know, I had a coach tell me a long time ago that, you know, there's no wasted play on a varsity field, and I really, truly believe that.
There we go.
A pitch and a catch. There's Varney to Matt Pickett, and Varney, I mean, the coach is looking at this.
Real nice strike through the cut that time. Ball arrived just as Pickett turned around to look at it. Strike. Pickett hauled it in, turned around, turned upfield. Real nice play by the Ponders.
Pickett's had a nice game.
Pickett's had a very nice game.
Here it is, a little
Here we
pitch,
go.
Little catch. Pickett takes the defender with him. Nice play. First attempt for the Spy Ponders. Clock rolls, under a minute left.
Oh,
There's your fumble. There's your fumble. Picks it up, and it's incomplete. It's
no, it's
complete. A nice little pitch and catch.
Well, heads-up play by Varney. Picked it up off the field, didn't panic, hung with a play, showed some wheels, got outside.
A nice little pitch and catch. There was that fumble, though, and there's the 4th time a ball hit the ground and came back to the same team that fumbled it. I can guarantee you, folks, for the rest of the year, that will not happen.
Yeah, fortuitous.
Very serendipitous.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. Whoa. What is this? What is this? Is that a forward pass?
They're going to call that a fumble, I
They're going to
suppose.
call it a fumble, and the lineman was stumbling, bumbling, and mumbling.
Big number 66, John Bowen.
John Bowen.
Waiting all his life for that.
Yeah, they're not going to hear the end of that in the locker room.
Yeah.
He's going to be telling Elijah Woods, what's so hard about this?
I'm going to tell you, someday in the distant future, 25 years from now, there's going to be a high school reunion where that's going to turn into a 65-yard rumble all the way downfield
For a touchdown to win the ball game.
to win the ball game. And there I was in the end zone.
The fans mobbing me. Opening night. We just beat Stoneham.
There's nothing more fun for an offensive
36-35.
lineman. Yeah, right. It was a 28-point play.
Here's a broken play. Varney mercilessly gets out of bounds with 6.7 seconds left on the clock.
Is that with an S?
Yes. We'll just say we will just thank the football overseers that this is
Coming to a close, we get
Coming
to see.
to a close with the weather over 60 degrees. Beautiful night for football. Last play of the game. Here's Varney. 6 seconds left. It's a pitch. It's a catch. Stay in bounds, son. And he does. And that's the end of the ball game. With our final score, the Stoneham Spartans 35, the Arlington Spy Ponders 6. Next week, Arlington will travel to Belmont. We'd like to thank our producer, Staz, Modrzynski, Gilbert, Sundar, Rajan, director, Gyarti Sanjar Rajan, Felix Ansell, cameras, Sam Kim, Patrick Gallagher, Zachary Garrigas, Felix Moisand, camera grip, Julian Petrillo, audio, Colin Gilbert, engineer Stas Modrzynski, and Jeff Monroe, graphics, Sam Kim, replay, Andrew Wilson. I'm Scott, alongside my partner Rob Anthony. And Rob, so 35-6, 0-2 start. Not a lot of great things, but what did you see positive out there for the Spy Ponders?
We saw a few positives. We saw the team really hung in. Came out to after going down at halftime, down 28-6. Turned in a very respectable second half. Defense stopped the Spartans a little bit, and on offense they moved the ball. Elijah Woods got going, showed some spunk, and we saw a couple of quarterbacks who have some real promise for the Spy Ponders. The special teams play was stellar all night long. That can be an important part of a football team. So some positives to take away, not the outcome that we want, but good effort, and we look forward to Belmont next week.
Belmont next week, and for the Spy Ponders this year, we've got a nice home slate. We're going to get Lexington here. We're going to get Winchester here. They get Belmont on the road, and they get also Lexington here, and then also Reading here. So the iron of the schedule is at home.
The irons of the schedule is at home, and that should help them out. We got a couple of kinks to work out before the iron of the schedule really shows up. And first and foremost, I think the Ponders need to figure out exactly how they're going to move the ball on offense, what they're going to try to make their bread and butter, and I'm not sure we got that answer tonight.
I don't think we did, but I thought that they never quit. They kept chopping away. They kept pounding away. They showed heart. They showed determination. They're a young team. They're going to go through some growing pains, and this is what you're going to see. So, Rob, why don't we take a minute right here and just go over the scoring recap?
Let's do that. So the Spartans opened the scoring with a 4-yard TD run by Mr. D. Almeida, who had a real nice night for them, made it 7-0. Ponders responded with a 52-yard touchdown pass from Bowler to Doherty, made it 7-6. Then we saw 4 straight scores by the Spartans. Pignoni to Russell for 36 yards. Tim Russell in the end zone again with a 3-yard run. D. Almeida in the end zone with a 4-yard run. And then the scoring ended with Tim Russell going for a 6-yard score to make it 35-6, and the guns fell silent.
So the Spy Ponders fall to 0-2. The Spartans to 3-0, and so that's what we have after tonight. Looking forward, nothing but up for the Spy Ponders. Hopefully, we're gonna have a little time to talk to the coach, and we'll be back right after these messages. And we're back. We're going down to the field. We have the professor with Coach Gendron. Take it away, Professor.
Yeah, Coach Gendron, Coach, tough game out there. What can you take away from this one?
Well, I think we saw some guys step up and some guys found out what they need to get better at, So we knew there were going to be growing pains. We hoped we were a little bit further along, but
it's hard to simulate some of these plays against, you know, a big, strong, well-coached team in practice. So we just talked down there about how we need our starters to play better, but we also need our scout teams to play better, you know, from top to bottom, including the coaches. We just got to do everything better because we know the kids and the kids know themselves, and, you know, we have a better product than that game. So a lot of things to go back and review. Luckily, that wasn't a league game. We're excited to get the league schedule going next week against a very good Belmont team. But tough to come out in front of your home crowd and not start out the way that I think everyone had in mind.
Some positives, a good second half. We got some good
much better.
play. Elijah Woods came to life in the second half. Talk a little bit about what you saw that you can take away that's positive out of it.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of young guys, and I think they don't understand how long an offensive play is. You know, that thing is 5 or 6 seconds, which doesn't sound like much in the real world, but man, that's like a lifetime in football. And so in the first half, we were playing a lot of 2-second plays, 3-second plays, and we really talked in the locker room about, hey, let's challenge ourselves to play the whole play. And that was really one of the only changes we made. Run the same plays, same guys, but they understood that they need to block even longer than they think, and they started moving the ball better. So those are some of the small lessons that a young team has to learn, and unfortunately sometimes you got to learn by experience.